It was so hard to pass up there. Those guys would catch each other. You know, the race would go along, and the leader would be way out there, and then when he'd start lapping people, they'd all catch up.
12th place, it ain't what you want. You want to win, but some awful good cars beat us, but we beat some awful good cars too.
Somehow or another, NASCAR's going to have to do something about it so that when you do catch up, that you got enough power to be able to pass people.
The outside groove never come in.
Well, it would for just a little while. With new tires, they could run out there for 3 or 4 laps. They just couldn't pass each other. They just a big line of cars looked like Daytona or Talladega, where where they're drafting each other.
Okay, here we are again at the Petty Museum in Level Cross. We was in Martinsville yesterday, and what a day it was.
It was, really. I don't know if it's a typical race for Martinsville. What I liked about the race, really, even all finished and stuff, the top 3 or 4, except for the 24, that's where they started, and they stayed all day long. There was no surprises. The 24 was surprised by coming from that far back and catching up, but they used a strategy. Even though he was faster than anybody or as fast as anybody, they used a strategy when they had that last caution, or before they had the caution on the green. They stopped early,
just 2 or 3 laps early,
and by doing that, they could pick up. In other words, they stopped 3 laps earlier than anybody else. That was 3 seconds on the racetrack, and that put him out front. And it was so hard to pass up there. Those guys would catch each other, and the race would go along, and the leader would be way out there. And then when he'd start lapping people, first thing you know, there was 10 of them. They'd all catch up,
bunched up.
Yeah, they'd all bunch up. So, but they still couldn't get in around each other. So somehow or another, NASCAR's going to have to do something about it, so that when you do catch up, that you got enough power to be able to pass people.
But let's go back getting in with Kyle arranging a escort for us, and then even right early unveiling another Petty 75 years of Petty racing hat with so many of the Pettys there.
So we got to come in right behind 7 busloads of Hendrick's crowd, because
Hendrick's employees.
It was his 40th when he started. I think he won his first race up there 40 years ago. So they had a big celebration for that. So they had, I don't know, what they say, 1,500 people, I think, that Hendrick's brought up to see the race. Like I say about the hat, then we had all the Petty clan up there that took pictures with the big hat and stuff that they had out front in Martinsville.
I guess it was ironic that they had Jeff Bodine there. I can't get his name out. Yeah. Won the first race there at Martinsville that kind of started Hendrick's, and then I guess to win the race. But not only that, top three cars, Hendrick cars, and the other car was 8th. So all 4 of his cars in the top 10. But I'm kind of repeating what you said. The 5 car took off like he was going to lap the field.
Right.
I mean, at the first stage, the 43 car, which we watch more than any other car, of course we always will, he was within 2 seconds of getting lapped.
Right.
But he was running the same speed they were. And then all of a sudden, they caught up with the 5. And then after the stage, the 22 and a Ford come out and run off and left them. Then they run him down, and they all bunched up.
Well, he got it. 22 got in front. He got 2 tires. Everybody else got 4.
Is that right?
And,
I didn't know that.
And doing that, right at the end of that run, they caught up with him, and 3 or 4 passed him because his left side tires wore completely out.
Okay, jumping ahead, we were ahead of the 12 car, and he must have gained 10 positions on the second stage, and he must have got just 2 tires.
He did. I think he got 2. He just got 2
tires. And he
tires.
wound up running 4, so strategy played a big part. Yeah. Run 5th.
Yeah, he ran 5th. I think he was running 4th, and then he got past that last.
Yeah, he was. I think he was pretty upset about the 9 car or something, so I didn't see none of that. But the 43, we're getting back to that, finished 12th.
Yeah, but
not great.
He ran like 17th, 18th all day long.
But the last green flag stop helped us quite a bit, Richard.
Yeah.
Even though the pit stop wasn't that fast, the timing and everything.
The deal was we stopped a little bit earlier than the people we was running with, and was able to get out and get in front of them.
But, going back to 12th place, it ain't what you want. You want to win. But looking at it, some awful good cars beat us, but we beat some awful good cars too. But it kind of got separated the first stage, like the first 20 or 21 cars stayed in a lap.
Yeah.
And the others got a lap down, and they never overcome it. They got some lucky dogs and everything. But from then on, we never got further back than a half a lap, Richard, and still running 18th or so.
Right.
I mean, it was just unreal.
That's the reason I say that they just couldn't pass each other. They just a big line of cars, looked like Daytona or Talladega, where they're just getting where they're drafting each other
and changing leaders every lap. But the outside groove never come in either, Richard.
It would for just a little while. With new tires, they could run out there for 3 or 4 laps. But
you better find you a hole to get low.
But the track got really slick, and then the tires went away. And, the good cars could pass people on the outside. Lap cars, when they come up to lap.
Yeah.
And so they were working good enough to be able to do that.
But like I said,
most of the time when the lead cars would come up on cars that were really behind, they'd get out of their way. But then they come up behind the 3 car that one time, and
the leaders.
The leader. But that was when the 22 was leading. His tires went away.
Yeah.
First thing you know, the 3 car got away from him.
Yeah.
And same thing happened when they come up to lap the 1 car. They lapped him right there at last, and then they had that caution. He was able to get back in the same lap.
But we raced the 54 car, wound up beating him. We stayed with him about all day, and we raced the 45 car
a lot.
I
think 54, I think we beat him because we stopped earlier than he did, and that put us ahead of him.
And then, of course, it looks like every race they're going to have an extension of the race overtime. But
well, I think this is just the second time this year that they've done that.
Okay, but no matter what.
Week.
But you remember the last 2 races, both of them had that. But it didn't change many positions because Denny Hamlin, I guess, he come in running better than 11th, and he didn't gain nothing by putting tires on.
No.
So he.
Yeah.
But we come in running 12th and went out finished running 12th.
Yeah.
So
anyhow, we'll go to a big track this week. We go to Texas, and we've from the time we've started down there, the Petty crowd has never had good luck. But maybe our new team, maybe they'll have a little bit better luck than we've had down there.
Well, I guess me and you'll be going down Sunday morning and coming back at night. It'd be quite a long day for us, but I know I can make it. I hope you can, but
you follow me then, okay?
Okay. But congratulations to the Hendrick bunch again.
On their 40th anniversary. That was great.
It was quite a day for them, and I'm sure the employees all enjoyed it.
That's a good question. I think I got the first one. To begin with, they gave away grandmother clocks. They wasn't quite as big as the ones they give away now. I think I kept the first one. I think Dale got the second one. Then I think my brother got the third one. So I really don't know where they all at.
We won both races. I say we. Richard won both races in '69. We was in a Ford, and I got one of them in '69, and it was a grandmother clock. Where the rest of them are at, I don't know either.
I guess they run in Wilkesboro now. That was always a good track for us. But any other short track, I don't know that NASCAR really needs to go to, because they've got 3 or 4 short tracks, and they got the Bristol and Martinsville, Richmond. So another one or two probably wouldn't hurt, because it takes a lot of driving skill, probably more so on a short track than it does some of the super speedways.
Probably Martinsville. When Winston come on board, and I guess in 1972, they cut back on all the little tracks and everything. And but like Richmond, it was a short track, but they've changed it. It's just about I don't know what it is. In Bristol, they made it so fast. It's a 15-second track, but boy, a lot happens. And yesterday it was a 20-second track, and but they were still a lot of fans, and there'll be more when they get into the final hunt for the championship.
I think we've already talked about this. They need to quit changing gears, okay? And to overcome that, they need more horsepower. They just to solve the problems might bring on more problems, but they give these cars horsepower so that a place like Martinsville, when a car in front of you do make a slip, then you got enough power to jump by him. So I think horsepower would be a real quick fix that everybody could stand for.
Yeah, Richard brings up horsepower every time we talk it. We talk it a lot, but I'd like to get back where the crews could work on the cars some during qualifying, during practice, and even after qualifying and everything, because a lot of times when they unload, that's what they got, and going into the race, they know they got a problem, but they can't fix it, and that's.
Yeah.
But golly, it's unreal that the different and they got different rule packages, different spoilers for different tracks, and different underneath configurations and everything. And I certainly don't understand all of them, but I wear my bunch out asking them questions, trying to keep up with it.